What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and I know my audience demographic. I know it quite well. It is overwhelmingly male. Not to say I don't appreciate you ladies out there, but it is overwhelmingly male, and because of that, I keep myself educated on men's issues, men's rights issues, issues that I think affect my audience disproportionately. And it's one of the reasons that I talk about International Men's Day, because it's one day a year we get to talk about issues that disproportionately affect men, and of course the media ignores it, but that's no surprise. It's popular, it's supported even in many circles to disparage men, to disparage in particular cis men, it's accepted, it's supported, it's encouraged on social media to disparage this group. What most people don't talk about or know is that, 76% of self-deletions are men, 85% of homeless are men, 70% of victims who lose their lives are men. The idea that, men have it easy out there. Well, men serve on average 64% longer in prison than women. Men on average are 3.4 times more likely to be imprisoned than women when they both commit the same crime. There's lots of rhetoric out there. We see every year the mainstream media trotting out the pay gap. It's absurd. When you look at these articles, you need some sort of protective lenses to do so. And fortunately, I've got a great sponsor to do that. Huge shout out to this video's sponsor, Blue Blocks. Look, after a long day of covering the news down here in the office, staring at my monitor, staring at my cell phone, staring at my laptop upstairs, I always felt a little off at the end of the day. I was concerned about the amount of blue light that was being sent through my eyeballs every day. Blue light damages our eyes and leads to digital eye strain. Symptoms of digital eye strain are blurred vision, headaches, dry, watery eyes, and more. Blue Blocks was created to fix this problem and block out the light with high-quality lenses. Unlike other types of blue light glasses, Blue Blocks are evidence-backed and made under optics laboratory conditions in Australia. They have over 40 stylish frames, come in prescription, non-prescription, and readers, so they have frames for every need. Go to blueblocks.com/thequartering and use promo code THEQUARTERING at checkout to get 20% off and enjoy free shipping on orders over $115. Get your energy back, sleep better, and block out the unhealthy effects of blue light with Blue Blocks. That's BLUBLOX.com/thequartering, or just click the link below and make sure to use code THEQUARTERING to get free shipping worldwide and enjoy free shipping on all orders over $115. Now, protect yourself when reading corporate propaganda. Men were already, this via the Daily Wire, men were already behind women in higher education, and the lockdowns made things far worse. Women have dominated college campuses in recent decades, but the lockdowns made the divide even worse, as many men realized remote learning was not for them. The Chronicles of Higher Education reported that last fall, male undergraduate enrollment fell by 7%, nearly 3 times as much as female enrollment. The decline was the steepest and the gender gap the largest among students of color attending community colleges. Black and Hispanic male enrollment at public two-year colleges plummeted by nearly 20% and 17% respectively, about 10 percentage points more than drops in Black and Hispanic female enrollment. Drops in enrollment of Asian men were smaller, but still 8 times greater than declines in Asian women, the outlet added. With Democrats and their media supporters focusing so much on the disparity between men and women that they say hurts them, college men have been forgotten and ignored, the consequence of which can be far-reaching. Now, I want to say, to my male viewers out there, always consider the trades. Your job will always most likely be in demand. You'll you'll learn entrepreneurial skills. You will put yourself 3 to 4 years ahead of anyone else in who goes the traditional 4-year school. And the fact that you won't have 50 grand in debt. Most community colleges and tech and schools that teach this stuff, tech schools, you'll be able to work full time and go to school full time pretty easily. And a lot of my friends went and got their HVAC stuff, or they got various, their CDLs, and they're making great money, and they don't have huge college debt. Now, when I was in school, it was, a bunch of overweight guidance counselors telling me that the only key to success was to go to a 4-year college in Madison in particular. I only found out later that they had all gone to Madison. And I only found out later that their collective salaries were anything but desirable. But yeah, so trade schools, think about it. For colleges, declining male enrollment means less revenue and less viewpoint diversity in the classroom. They don't care about that. For the economy, it means fewer workers to fill an increasing number of jobs that require at least some college education, and a future in which workforce is split even more along gender lines, the outlet reported. The workforce being evenly split might not be a problem, but it could eventually become uneven again, with more women working than men. While the Chronicle mentions economic consequences of today's misalignment on college campuses, it doesn't discuss the social ramifications this could cause. Women typically seek out men who are successful or show promise as financial providers. Fewer men in college and with college degrees would limit the marriage pool for women seeking a partner. Ha! Various societal issues already arise in places where women outnumber men, as men become less inclined to, quote, settle down when they have so many options. Oh, no! You hear that, fellas? I feel so bad for you. I feel so bad for all my plumbers and tile workers and HVAC workers and, over-the-road truckers who just have so many options with women. It must be tough. As men become less inclined to settle down when they have options, conversely, when men outnumber women, they tend to work towards impressing the few available women. As the Chronicle reported, the trend of more women receiving degrees began back in the 70s. The last time men and women attended college attended college about the same rate. But I thought what about that patriarchy thing? The patriarchy isn't working very good. I would imagine that they wouldn't want this. Today, women account for 57% of enrollment and even greater share of degrees, especially at the level of master's and above. The explanations for this growing gender imbalance vary from academic to social to economic. Girls on average do better in primary and secondary schools. Boys are less likely to seek help when they struggle, and they face more pressure to join the workforce, the outlet reported. Yeah, we don't want to talk about helping break down those barriers or get men the help that they need. See, I think part of the issue with not seeking extra help, tutoring or otherwise, is simply ego-driven by men. And if you could work to give men the tools that they need to receive extra attention, that would probably be helpful. But that would be seen very poorly in the political sphere. You can't give men any advantages because the narrative is that men bad, and they're holding back all the women, and they're taking all the best jobs, even though that's clearly not true. Of course, none of the issues facing boys in education, whether primary, secondary, or higher, are being addressed at large, as the focus is continuously on girls and the perceived imbalance that hurts them. The near total focus on decades has resulted in reduced educational outcome for boys and a society that regularly demonizes them. For college, they're trying to attract more men back into education, the Chronicle reported. I don't think that, I think men should take a good, hard look at the trades and decide what's a good fit for them. Men, as well as women, but men on average, based on my own in-group, like working with their hands. They don't mind working outside in inclement conditions, or they're more willing to do so. Men also take the higher risk jobs out there. Again, that is not to say that women don't, but that is to say on average. The idea that especially the white cis male will receive a high quality education at some of these schools is hilarious and absurd. Imagine paying full tuition because scholarship availability has almost exclusively forgotten your group, then going to college and being told, while you're paying these teachers, that you're the problem in this country. I just can't think of a worse use of money. For colleges, they're trying to attract more men. The Chronicle reported they're adding sports teams and majors in fields that tend to attract more men than women, such as criminal justice and information science. The programs, however, are rare and given limited resources, unlike programs directed at women, which are not only provided generous grants and attention, but allowed to exist even if they violate Title IX and the federal statute that prohibits discrimination based on your gender. I mean, is there anybody who would disagree with this? I think that I will not be one of those people that says college, is a scam, or, people don't need it or whatever. That's not the case. I think college is important for some people. College is required for some jobs from some people. But ultimately, I think that we need more people like Mike Rowe out there who works to destigmatize the trades. Because let me tell you, my friends, people are always going to need someone to fix their furnace. People are always going to need somebody to get that clog out of their drain. People are always going to need a roofer, somebody to paint their house, build cabinets, install flooring. These are things that when my dad was a kid, men did themselves. But today's generation, myself included, we showed little interest in learning those skills. And now we're at our 30s and maybe we have the money to do it, but we don't have the skill. And, you have this stigma around the trades. Well, I'll tell you what, ladies, too. Men that are in the trades likely have a nice bankroll of cash. They have unlimited job opportunities. They have unlimited earning potential because oftentimes overtime is a very real possibility for them. And they're also responsible and hardworking. These are traits that I think are well sought after by women. So I don't necessarily agree that this is worse for men. If I was on the market, I met a girl with a 6-year degree, let's say a master's degree, $100,000 in debt, that's a turnoff. If I met a woman who, is a plumber or, does HVAC work and she's got her own little business and she's building something, I mean, that's what's attractive. I suppose, I don't know. That's just my personal opinion. But yeah, this is the kind of stuff the media doesn't want anyone to know. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.